What the duck is up, everyone? Thank you for joining us for another episode of Duck Takes. As always, with me, my co-host Garrett.
Against my will.
Okay. Big news. Big news in the Marvel universe. We're going to be... What?
You doing Trump impressions now? Is that what that was?
No, that was like Arthur Spooner.
Oh.
Friday. Big day. That was Arthur Spooner.
Oh.
I guess it didn't come out as Arthur Spooner. But yeah, big week last week for the Marvel fan base as we got a entire cast announcement. Well, maybe, not entire cast announcement, but we did get a cast announcement from Avengers Doomsday in a very fashionable manner as well. Before we dive into that, though, have you seen the new suit for Daredevil in Season 2?
Yes.
Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So there's your warning. But
honestly, I'm kind of mad it got spoiled.
you are.
Yeah, man. Like, come on. That would have been so hype if we saw that in the season. But
it seems intentional that they did it. Like that. Like it wasn't no iPhone picture taken from someone walking the streets. Like those were some great crispy photos.
yeah, they were.
That they wanted out there.
It was definitely intentional, but yeah, that shit looked fire, boy.
Oh my god,
fire!
that's the best Daredevil suit we've seen.
Yeah, no, that's number one.
That's just went number
one.
That just went to the top at number one.
Oh my god, it was so sexy.
Oh.
So sexy.
It fits him so good too.
Yeah.
And the double D's, they did the double D's.
They did the double D's.
I know it can probably, very come off comically goofy with the double D's, but this looks great.
No, it looks so good.
It looks so good.
So
and it
good.
looks like he essentially like painted over his red suit, leaving the thin lines for the double. Because like there's some markings in the suit as well where you see some red left over from underneath. So
we saw he had an assortment of suits in season one. Remember, we saw like the 4 helmets?
Yeah. Correct. But I'm saying it looks like he painted over his red suit is what I'm saying.
Okay. But dude, I've also seen like some like comic pictures or some comic drawings of that suit, and he has red rope around his fists.
Oh.
I don't know if we're gonna get that, but bro, what if he pulled out like some red rope and he had that on his fists?
That would be cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I always love the ropes.
The ropes are dope.
Yeah, no, but that suit is fantastic and instantly jumped up to the number one Daredevil suit.
Easily number one.
Easily number one. Is it better than the season 3 homemade black suit with the rope?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. But yes, let's go over this Avengers Doomsday cast lineup that we got announced to us in a very exciting way. At least it wasn't at first, but then it kind of became exciting.
I liked it.
Yeah. And we will also dive into questions and theories that we got from the Discord. And again, if you want to join the Discord, join our Patreon. All of April, our Patreon will be half off. So any of the memberships that you see will be half off than what they usually are. And if you are already signed up for our Patreon, then you will just be billed the 50% off pricing your next billing cycle. So definitely make sure to check out our Patreon if you want to join the Discord and for extra bonus episodes as well. And you can always give us suggestions in our Discord. So here we go. Marvel announces by lining up 27 director chairs with an actor's name on the back of each chair, slowly moving a camera dolly about every 12 minutes to focus on the next chair with no actors in the chair as well. So this started at about 11 a.m. and ended around 5 p.m. 4 p.m., 5 p.m. It was like 5 or 6 hours.
I had to leave, bro. I don't know.
So if you missed that, I'm sure you didn't though, because they were able to garnish a grand total of 275 million views for this Avengers Doomsday cast announcement.
Crazy.
The MCU, as much shit as we still talk, as much shit as people talk about the MCU, as much as the MCU has been a roller coaster over these last 5 years, they still have us wrapped around their finger.
Yeah.
They do. And this announcement proved it.
Kind of.
It did.
Which makes me like kind of mad that that's the case.
if you weren't doing anything that day, it's because of the cast announcement. If you were at work that day, you still watched the cast announcement.
Yeah.
At first, yeah, I wasn't a fan. But then I was like, okay, this is kind of exciting. There was like, once it hit a certain point in the announcement, there was like a certain anticipation that came with it.
Yeah. And like once it got past the people that was like clearly obvious that they were going to be in this movie, and you're like getting to some surprises that you may not have expected, that's where it got interesting.
It did. It got real interesting. So I think we got a grand total of 27 announcements in the cast. It started off with just a camera shot of a director's chair that said Chris Hemsworth on it. Mm-hmm. So clearly, you know, Chris Hemsworth will be returning as Thor. Will we be getting Thor 5? I'm not sure. Would you even want to see a Thor 5?
Yes. If it's better than Love and Thunder. And also because of Chris Hemsworth's comment on the character. He said he was like, if I'm not mistaken, he said something along the lines of like he kind of phoned it in for Love and Thunder, and like he was like, you know, that's not my best performance that I could have done for Thor and the character, and he would love another shot at another Thor movie, and it's like, all right, well, you know, if he fucking locks in, then yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, and as long as it's not Taika Waititi directing, like he gave us Ragnarok, and I love Ragnarok.
It's crazy the switch up on Taika Waititi from Ragnarok to Love and Thunder. But like it's also a valid switch up. Yeah. You know? Cuz I think he is a good director.
He is, but I don't know what the hell happened with Love and Thunder, man. And like they cut like so many scenes of Christian Bale, and he was like the best part of that movie. Yeah. Like, and he was way too dark of a villain for the tone that they were trying to go for with the rest of the movie. Like, it felt like a separate movie every time he was on screen.
It did, and like the whiplash and the tone you felt from, you know, when Christian Bale would be on screen, and then like the next scene you have like a floating head.
It was like comedy to horror in the same movie. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him take another crack at it. I mean, I think Thor is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Yeah. If not my favorite character in the MCU. So, and I love Chris Hemsworth. So yeah, I would like to see him take another crack at it and kind of get like to a more gritty, rooted story in like the Norse mythology, the Norse mythology. Yeah. You know, make him like a true fucking Viking, you know? So in the order, it's
actually,
what?
You know what'd even be cool?
What?
Like, Thor's been alive for thousands of years. Yeah. They could do like a
prequel.
They could do a prequel movie with Thor.
They could.
And go back to like actual Viking era Thor.
Oh yeah, they could actually. Ooh, that'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be sick?
That would be sick. And you could easily have the same characters in there because they're all gods.
Bring Odin back. Yeah. Bring Hiddleston back.
Yeah, bring Hiddleston back.
Cooking, baby. God, get me in a writer's room every time.
A prequel Thor story. That would be cool because it would also be a nice switch up because we're so invested in like continuity within the MCU. Yeah. Like, where is this story going? Where is this movie going to lead to? But if you do a prequel, it'd be like,
takes place before everything. Do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It could be a standalone.
Yep.
And you could really get crazy with the characters and story because it's dates so far previously of what we see in the MCU. That'd be cool. All right. Well, there's a theory for you there. So in the order, we see Vanessa Kirby after Chris Hemsworth, who is playing Sue Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. So no surprise there. Up next after her was Anthony Mackie, who is Captain America. Again, no surprise there, as we do see at the end of Brave New World that they want Sam to put together an Avengers team. And so, I mean, I guess Anthony Mackie is going to be leading this team.
Sounds like that's the plan. I mean, he is Captain America. Captain America is supposed to be a leader, but...
After Anthony Mackie, they announced Sebastian Stan, Bucky, Winter Soldier. Technically, he's not the Winter Soldier anymore, though. Can't call him that.
He'll always be the Winter Soldier in my heart.
But yeah, we see Sebastian Stan, we see Bucky just for like 30 seconds in Captain America Brave New World, and it seems like he's a politician now, or
Weirdest shit ever.
I don't know, but
I did not like that.
But clearly there's going to be some sort of...
Something's going to happen, with Thunderbolts.
With Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
But the other part that kind of sucked about this was that they pretty much announced all the Thunderbolts characters in this announcement as well.
So none of them will die.
Yeah, so there's not really, any consequences to fear from the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Letitia Wright returning as Shuri. And we haven't seen her for a minute since Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
There's a few names on here that I'm like, damn, it's about time we fucking see them again. Because I feel like there's been so many different movies and characters that just have not been brought up at all since we've last seen them. Paul Rudd returning as Ant-Man. This was at least a funny announcement because they gave him a small director's chair because he's Ant-Man. You missed that one?
I missed that one.
Okay, yeah.
That's funny as hell.
As they were moving the camera, it also started to go down. We're like, what's going on? And Paul Rudd's director's chair was like this tall.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. The little tiny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I will say, I think that was still such a big mistake that Ant-Man was the foe for Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And
just
Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Made Kang look weak as hell.
Yeah. Like Kang the Conqueror really lost to Ant-Man.
Yeah. And now he's not even our main big bad.
People were wondering if they were
gonna switch back.
Gonna have Kang come back. But no, because clearly the last announcement is RDJ. But
yeah.
So after
I'm so curious how they're gonna play that.
After Paul Rudd was Wyatt Russell returning as John Walker.
Alrighty.
A few people weren't excited for this announcement. I mean, I can see why people weren't excited for like this specific announcement in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's Avengers Doomsday, but I am excited to see his character again because I do think he is an interesting character.
He is.
Mm-hmm. After Wyatt Russell, we have Tenoch Huerta, who played Namor in
Namor.
Namor. Remember people giving us shit for saying Namor?
I mean,
in the comments.
Isn't that how it?
The movie,
it's like
Namor,
it's
right?
Namor. Yeah, it's like that. But I swear, like the only way I'd ever heard it before Wakanda Forever was Namor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know, but
well, he is returning. This was the first like big surprise for me.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect that one at all.
I was not expecting that because the last we see from him and Wakanda Forever, he makes a plead with Shuri,
to
like bring the countries together, but he had his own agenda behind it though.
Yeah.
But what was it? I can't remember. It's been so long.
It's been a while since I've seen Wakanda Forever.
Fucking know, but I remember there was a reasoning why he wanted this because so that he could be stronger once he like were to take over. So I don't know. I'm not sure how they're gonna use Namor in Avengers Doomsday. Obviously, we'll fucking find out though.
We will find out.
After him, we have Iban Masbakrak returning as the Thing. Well, I mean, not even fucking returning. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
But cousin is gonna be
okay.
Okay. He's gonna be in Avengers Doomsday. Curious to see how this Fantastic Four movie goes.
I hope it goes well.
I hope it goes well too. I hope Thunderbolts goes well.
Yeah,
But like
that one's got me hype.
It does, but yeah, no, there's a lot of great actors in it. A lot of great actors. So after Iban, the next announcement we get was Simu Liu returning as Shang-Chi. I was really happy for this announcement because we haven't seen his ass since 2021. It's already been since 2021.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
And it's 2025. So that'll be a 5-year gap between Shang-Chi and Avengers Doomsday. And who knows when we'll get Shang-Chi too. After Simu Liu, we get Florence Pugh returning as Yelena. So we know that she's not going to die in Thunderbolts as well. Like we said earlier, kind of just takes away the anticipation and the fear of the consequences for Thunderbolts. But still looking forward to that. Now, Here's where we start to get some names. We're like, oh shit. So the next announcement that we get is Kelsey Grammer returning as Dr. Hank McCoy, Beast from the Fox X-Men universe. Now, in terms of the X-Men that are returning, this probably is the least surprising since we do see him in the end credit scene in the Marvels.
We also see him in Multiverse of Madness.
So he's been in a few MCU movies already. After him, the next name we have was Louis Pullman, who is returning as Sentry.
Not returning.
Well, yeah.
Well, will be returning at that time.
He will be returning at that time as Sentry because he's the main antagonist in Thunderbolts. So, like, again, I'm curious how
that's going to wrap up.
Yeah, how this all comes into play. Yeah. If no one's fucking dying in Thunderbolts.
It's like, who's fighting?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
Interesting. After him, we have Danny Ramirez returning as Falcon. Not really surprised there. Also, I kind of am surprised at the same time because it's kind of a small name for this.
But I mean,
Avengers
I feel like
announcement.
they're trying to put him hand in hand with Anthony Mackie. So it's like if you see
like
Captain America, you see Captain America, you're gonna see Falcon
for sure. After him, we got Joseph Quinn, who will be returning as a Human Torch. No surprise there. Again, that is going to be a different universe, though, that Fantastic Four is taking place as our main MCU timeline. So there are all the theories about how they're going to come over into our main universe, especially when you take on a villain like Galactus.
Shit, for all we know, freaking Reed Richards could build a portal himself.
Right. After him, David Harbour, announced as the Red Guardian, will be returning for Avengers Doomsday. Now, I was like, kind of half and half on this because while I love David Harbour and I love him as the Red Guardian, at the same time I'm also like, do we really need him in Avengers Doomsday?
Yes.
Why?
Because they need some comic relief.
What? Out of all these actors, you're telling me they couldn't get any comic relief?
Yes.
I mean, he is probably one of the funnier actors on this list.
Definitely one of the funnier ones.
After him, Winston Duke returning as M'Baku. Hey, there's some comedy relief there.
Yeah.
He's funny as shit in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, he is.
You bald-headed demon. But yeah, I mean, there's also, like, in the comics, M'Baku becomes... What does he become? He becomes Gorilla... Remember? Ape Man, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So I wonder if they're going to up his feats as well by the time Avenger Doomsday comes around.
No idea.
There's a theory. After Winston, Hannah John Kamen will be returning as Ghost. Probably my least favorite antagonist that we see in any MCU movie.
Her character did not play a very large role in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I don't know, they didn't really dive into her character very much. She didn't really add
Not too much, but she's going to be in Thunderbolts.
So hopefully we get some
more depth.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Here's where things started getting really juicy. So me and Garrett, this is when me and you started watching it together because we were recording at the time, and we just had it up on the screen. And it was actually, this is where it actually started getting, the anticipation started getting fun. So the next announcement was Tom Hiddleston returning as Loki.
Yeah, did not expect that.
No.
I thought we were never seeing him in the MCU again.
Yeah. And what was really cool too was when they were announcing the next names before they started moving the camera, they would start playing the theme.
Yeah.
And once that Loki theme started playing, I was like, oh shit, Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah.
I thought it was a possibility like it could be Owen Wilson's Mobius. I just wasn't sure because the last we see of Loki, like he is in his place holding the timelines together. So it's like, what's he going to do?
I have no idea.
What's that, reunion with Thor going to be like? Emotional. And then here we go. Patrick Stewart's Professor X returning. Now we've already seen this man die 3 times on screen. We've seen him die in X-Men Last Stand.
Yep.
Logan.
Yep.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Will he die again?
Probably.
Probably.
We're going to see this man die 4 times on screen as Professor X. So like I can see why people weren't crazy hyped when Patrick Stewart's Professor X was announced, because I'm like, bro, we've seen this man get reborn so many times already.
Yeah.
And he's getting reborn again.
Yeah. And right along with him,
Ian McKellen.
Yep.
Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto. And my first question was, damn, these dudes are old.
They are old.
Are they up for this?
Yeah. Now, bro, I saw people like getting on us with our reaction about leave them alone. It was so what if they're old, but it's like, dude,
Dude, it's a valid question.
it is a valid question. And like, obviously no disrespect to the actors. Like they're freaking amazing and they've been amazing for years, but it's like, you hit a certain point where it's like, I am genuinely concerned about you, like as a person to keep doing this.
Yeah. If you're 85,
That's
a
like my
a big
grandparents all died around the age of 85.
yeah. No,
So,
they definitely weren't acting in Avengers Doomsday at 85.
They were not acting, bro.
They had Alzheimer's and in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, I mean, props to them.
Yeah. And our other one had a stroke. So, yeah.
At 68.
At 85. What?
I was talking about Papa Bill or
No.
Papa Mukau.
No. Well, no, Nana had a stroke.
So did Papa Mukau.
Yeah, but I never met
And
him.
he was 68.
Yeah. But nah, yeah, our Nana had a stroke at around 85. They all died around the same age.
Yeah. Also, I'm now realizing people are going to be like, Papa Mukau, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
don't fucking say that. What are you talking about?
So,
Nana's a little more normal.
I'll say, yeah, I know.
It's a little country, but
our grandpa had a farm
yes,
with cows and everything. So that's why I say Papa Mukau.
His name was his name.
That's his name.
Papa Mukau.
We sound so country right now.
Jesus, I'm trying to.
Oh, his real name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dad's middle name.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Dude, that's
To be fair, Garrett was born after he died.
Yeah, I never even got to meet the guy. So
Yeah. Okay. Next announcement, Alan Cumming returning as Nightcrawler. A lot of people were hyped about this.
yeah,
Hey, we love him in Spy Kids too as well.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, Nightcrawler. I mean, Alan Cumming, he's 65 years old. I feel like Nightcrawler is a very physical character.
Yeah.
You know? Very acrobatic character.
Dude, but with the way I've noticed Disney doing like their CGI lately, it's just like I don't even think they really use reference stuff anymore. It's just like they just straight up create a CGI character. So
After him, we have Rebecca Roman returning as Mystique. I'm actually really excited about that. I think Mystique is a really interesting character. I think Jennifer Lawrence, like we said, is done with the character of Mystique.
She is done.
So probably won't be getting her. After Rebecca, James Marsden returning as Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I hope they do him some justice,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying, man. They did him so... I feel like they did him dirty in the original X-Men trilogy.
So dirty.
He wasn't even around in the last one, bro. They killed him off in like the first act.
Yeah.
First 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's done dirty.
Crazy.
Because like Cyclops is like the true leader of the X-Men.
Yeah. And X-Men 97 like really made me realize that.
Yeah.
And he's like he's just a nuisance in the way of Logan and Jean in the original X trilogy.
Yeah, they really focus on Wolverine in the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we get a lot of great stuff from Wolverine, especially with like Logan, Days of Future Past, yada, yada, yada. But like, Cyclops was done dirty.
They did Cyclops.
Because not to mention, once the newer mutants were introduced, Cyclops was still kind of just like a side character, you know? All right. After James Marsden, we have Channing Tatum returning as Gambit.
Yes, sir.
I think this was the biggest surprise that I got from this announcement. I was not expecting, a character that was in the dump for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in Deadpool and Wolverine, bringing him back for Avengers Doomsday.
Clearly proved himself in Deadpool and Wolverine. I
really don't expect him to be in the movie that much, to be honest. Like, I don't expect them to give his character that much. Like, I think it's very exciting. I think I'm very excited to see Channing Tatum return as Gambit. However, I really don't see how they give him like a lot of screen time.
I don't think they're gonna give really a lot of these characters a lot of screen time. Like it's too many.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I think he could realistically get as much screen time as Mystique.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
Very possible. After Channing Tatum, we got Pedro Pascal, who will be returning as Mr. Fantastic. And last but not least, Robert Downey Jr. who is Doctor Doom, and he was the only actor who was actually there. We see the chair. No, we didn't see the chair move over yet. What happened was the giant, barn house doors opened up into the studio that they were in, and we see the sunlight pouring in. We just see, we hear footsteps walking up. It's got to be Robert Downey Jr. Long and behold, the man who carries all of the aura of the MCU, who carries the MCU on his back, literally. And
he is the Atlas of the MCU.
He really is, dude. Like, where would they be without Robert Downey Jr.?
Done after the first Avengers.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. So now let's get into some theories and some questions that we have from our Discord.
All right.
But I'm going to ask you a question first, though. So at the end of this announcement, it is announced that filming is currently in production with the Russo brothers directing, set to release on May 1st, 2026. Now, outside of the MCU, do we trust the Russo brothers to able to capture with Doomsday what they did with Infinity War and Endgame?
Outside of the MCU?
I'm saying, is it like, do we have any reason to be worried because of the Russo brothers' track record outside of the MCU? Because inside the MCU, it's flawless.
Yeah.
We have Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Do you think they'll be able to still capture that same?
I mean, I think it's entirely possible, but yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, why do they kill it with the MCU and then everything else?
Yeah,
they really have nothing going on for them. I don't know.
So like, because this is an MCU movie, like I don't think there's any reason for us to not expect them to be able to capture what they have in the past.
Yeah, but the MCU also is not what it's been in the past.
You're right.
So I don't know what the factors are that have been making these drastic changes, but no, I'd say there's cause for a little concern.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's cause for concern for sure.
Okay. So our first theory that we have, I think the only theory that we have from the Discord, from Brian, his theory is that it's actually going to be Avengers versus X-Men with Doctor Doom doing some crazy stuff behind the scenes. And then the final act, the Avengers and X-Men will team up to take on Doctor Doom. It's not a bad theory.
No, not a bad theory at all.
No.
I kind of like that, actually.
Yeah. And one thing, too, that I've seen people talk about is, what are they going to show us in that first act that will really show us how big of a threat Doctor Doom is to this MCU? Because this will be his introduction into the MCU. And we don't have any, pre-existing knowledge within the MCU to really show us how big of a threat he is. When they were introducing Thanos, we saw periodically him in end credit scenes through other MCU movies, and then finally in Infinity War. So there was a lead up for us to worry about and the threat that Thanos was.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do to show us that threat right off the bat with Doctor Doom?
They're going to have to go hard in like the first act for sure.
I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they should open up the scene of that one comic where Doctor Doom rips out the spine, the skull of Thanos.
That'd be cool.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would really show us how much of a threat he is.
Yeah, it would. Either that or like, what if he just like, they're bringing back a lot of old characters. The X-Men characters. So it's like, what if he just like kills off the old characters?
Look here. Look, I know y'all are excited that the X-Men characters are coming back, but they're not lasting long.
No.
I promise you.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
So, I mean, they could do that.
Yeah.
They could have him like kill off all the X-Men right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's going to be, they're going to have to do something to really show us how much of a threat Doctor Doom is.
Yeah.
Question from JD. Was there a big name that was missing from the cast that you still believe could make an appearance, or do you think they're saving them for Secret Wars? I would say maybe Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I thought Tom Holland would maybe.
I think it's hard to have a big team up movie without their biggest character, Spider-Man.
Right, Spider-Man.
But I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to expect from this movie. And like, what's the... I don't know. I don't even know.
End game?
Yeah, like I don't even know what's the order of movies. Like, because we have Thunderbolts and then Fantastic Four and then Doomsday. No, there's a lot in between that.
I wouldn't say a lot, but there's something in between.
There's some time in between for sure. And then when Secret Wars? Like how far is that away?
It's a year after Doomsday, so it comes out 2027.
Okay.
Here's a name I would have liked to seen as well. Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see an Oscar Isaac in that reveal. Now, I don't know if they're saving him for Secret Wars. I don't know what they're even doing with the character of Moon Knight because they're not doing him justice. But I really liked Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, and I've been wanting to see him at least like a confirmation that he's returning in something.
Yeah.
You know, because there's not even a confirmation that season 2 is coming out.
No, they're saying they've said that they're not doing.
They're not doing season 2.
Yeah.
So there's nothing.
Yeah.
So it would be a shame, and I think a waste of potential if they just give us Moon Knight like the one show, the one season, and that's it.
I mean, they said they're not done with the character, but they did confirm that season 2 wasn't coming.
And
bro, what if we see him in Daredevil?
You think we would?
It's possible.
I don't know if they would do that.
Moon Knight is like low key, like on the daily, he's like low key kind of like Batman with like how he like prowls the streets at nights.
I don't know if they do that though. I don't know if they would.
I don't know either, but that would be kind of cool.
Because with that last episode when they're talking about Kamala Khan, I'm like, okay, this is very MCU like integrated. You know, they're trying to. So if they did that, and then on top of that, Moon Knight, I'm like, all right, now this is where the show's kind of getting very MCU integrated, which I don't think is like the best thing for Daredevil. But did you catch up to episode 6?
Yeah.
Okay, when he fights Muse and Fire,
puts
good. On the suit,
the
parallels, between him and Kingpin.
Yeah.
Adam. Oh my God, that was so good. So yeah, I would say the names that I think were missing for me would be Tom Holland and Oscar Isaac. Now I have also heard that they're not done announcing names for the cast. So those are names that we could see being announced later down the road. We do also know they could be saving characters for Secret Wars, just like how they did with Endgame.
Scarlet Witch could make an appearance.
Bingo. That's a big one missing, I think.
There's no confirmation that she's dead. I'd say that's a really good one to keep secret if they are going to keep one secret.
Yeah.
So I say Scarlet Witch.
So, I mean, it was smart not to announce Elizabeth Olsen then.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I feel like people would have got hyped if they saw that.
I would have been hyped.
But if they keep that for an in-theater movie experience and I see Elizabeth Olsen pop up, I'm going to be like,
good job.
Let's go.
Good job.
Yep.
Yeah. She's got to be in these movies. They need her in these movies.
They do, bro.
They literally need her.
And if they're going to use her to fight against Doom too, like they need a powerful fucking character.
Yeah.
That's one of their most powerful, so.
It's going to be essential. All right. Next question from Preston. Would you have preferred that they do a mix of the new X-Men cast and the original instead of just the original cast? I feel like Fassbender's Magneto would have been awesome to see again. I actually agree. I would have loved to seen Fassbender's Magneto return in something.
Well, yeah, but like how are they going to do it? How are they going to do a combo that's going to be realistic?
I don't think it would make sense continuity wise.
Yeah, everybody would be if they did that, it would piss everyone off.
Yeah,
because they'd be like, God, can they stick to the freaking story or you know, like pick a lane?
Right.
Because if like yes, everybody loves Fassbender's Magneto, and even.
James McAvoy's Patrick Stewart.
Not his Patrick Stewart.
My bad. His Professor X.
His Professor X. Can't think of freaking names right now. But yeah, like they portray the characters amazingly as well. But yeah, you got to stick to continuity that's going to make sense in people's brains.
Yeah, man. Because I would love to see James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender return as those characters because I personally. I like their Professor X and Magneto better. That's just me.
Whoa.
You don't?
No,
I know you do.
No, I do.
But I know you know, it's hard to argue that as well because you have Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, who are the original, who everyone grew up with. But I think I just love the
Days of Future Past.
well, yeah, you just kind of feel the tragedy more with Michael Fassbender's Magneto, just because it's more fresh for his character.
Yeah.
The pain is more fresh, you know, as to where Ian McKellen.
He's grown like cold over the years.
Yes. Yeah. So it's completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love his Magneto. So in all, like, it would have been cool, but it also wouldn't make sense.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, and like we said, we love those characters and the people who portray them, but would not make sense.
Question from Jeter. If y'all could choose any 3 Marvel characters to show up in the movie, who would you choose?
Like,
Just any
anything?
character to show up in Avengers Doomsday. I got one.
I got one too, actually. I'm not sure.
Are we thinking of the same person?
Do we want to see?
3, 2, 1.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
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 Ghost Rider big time.
Yeah.
Dude, put Ghost Rider in the MCU, please. I know you're going to say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon for the MCU.
It's a great portrayal.
I know you love Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider.
It's a great Ghost Rider.
I know. But what about Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider? Honestly, any Ghost Rider.
Yeah, no, I don't care who.
Either of those Ghost
put
Rider.
a fucking Ghost Rider in the MCU. It's such a badass character.
Dude.
Such a badass character. Like, bro, his presence is just so intimidating.
And his powers, bro. Like, they need his powers.
I know. Like, bro, they need some fucking big hitters. That is a big hitter that has not made a presence yet.
Oh, man. I need me some Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
We have gotten...
I'd lose my shit if Ghost Rider just magically appeared on screen.
I would lose my shit. We have gotten such little Ghost Rider, period, with Marvel. So it's just such a badass character. So definitely Ghost Rider is one character. Who would be another?
I don't know, man. Venom? Venom would be cool.
Now, how...
Nope, completely new Venom. No Tom Hardy,
No,
nothing.
I agree. No Tom Hardy. No, I agree.
No, just a completely fresh Venom from another multiverse.
That's just... We don't even know anything about them.
Yep, just like Doom just recruited him, and he's just a big brute force on his side.
What if you do like Agent Venom?
That he's a hero.
Oh.
But that'd still be cool.
Yeah.
It's Flash.
Yeah.
That's Flash. But it couldn't be MCU Flash.
No, it couldn't.
It wouldn't work.
No.
It wouldn't be viable.
No, it wouldn't. Venom would be cool. I just had another one that I thought of. Hey. Sue me. But if Morbius made an appearance,
Oh my god.
I wouldn't be mad. But realistically, maybe
Blade.
Bingo.
Blade. Yeah.
Blade. Now, unfortunately, I think there's been news that it's looking like they might even scrap Blade.
That's crazy.
They might even scrap Mahershala Ali's Blade.
Fucking ridiculous.
Which is ridiculous. You have kept this man in the shadows with hopes of a Blade project coming out, wasting his career away while he could have been fucking doing other shit, because I think he was being a part of like the writer's room and producing. I think he's a producer of the Blade movie. So, you know, he's invested in this movie.
So fucking stupid.
It sucks, man, because he's such a great actor.
Yeah. He's the perfect person to play that character.
I know.
Like the perfect person. And you're going to fumble that?
Yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
So whether it be Wesley Snipes' Blade or Mahershala Ali's Blade, I think Blade is another character that I would like to see in Avengers Doomsday.
What about any of the Eternals? Like, what if Mercari showed up?
Who?
The Speedster.
The Speedster? Okay, that's what I thought. But again, would that make sense?
No, it wouldn't.
No. If anything, it would be like Kit Harington's character. Remember?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be introduced as
something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like a Black Knight or some shit.
Ooh, what about Quicksilver? Would that make sense at all? I don't know. We got X-Men in there.
No, it wouldn't, actually. Because Ralph Bohner is one of the, or not Ralph Boner, my bad. Shit. The Quicksilver that we get and Days of Future Past and all that.
Yeah.
Like that would make sense because that would be the mutants from, the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other Quicksilver died in the MCU.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's died in the MCU.
But we did get him. But we did get
Ralph Boner.
What the fuck is his name?
Who?
Who's Ralph Boner?
Evan Peter.
Yeah, Evan Peters.
You're talking about in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
He was a fucking fake.
Yeah, he was
that actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. They threw us a fake.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
That was bullshit.
Wanda should just make him a hero with her powers.
So that would make sense. So 3 characters that I think, any characters that we would love to see in Avengers Doomsday: Ghost Rider, Blade, what was the other one we said?
Venom.
And Venom. Okay.
Solid.
I think it's solid.
I feel like we could trade Venom for something else.
probably
but I
trade-
can't.
yeah.
But I can't think of anything else right now.
I mean, like, I would like Moon Knight to be in there,
Oh yeah.
So those are characters that I would hope that are in Avengers Doomsday. All right, next question from Vanessa. What MCU projects are the most anticipated for you? Okay, so we have Thunderbolts coming out in May.
They have Blade on here.
Yeah, they also have Ironheart on here.
Didn't that get scrapped?
I don't know if it's scrapped, but
I hope it
I
gets
don't
scrapped.
know. Yeah, we have Fantastic Four. Oh, Ryan Coogler is going to direct a 3rd Black Panther.
Okay.
X-Men 97 season 2.
What list are you on?
I'm on MCUschedule.com. Avengers Doomsday, Shang-Chi 2, Spider-Man 4. Oh, X-Men 97 does have 2 seasons coming up. So season 2 and season 3, they did get greenlit for 2 more seasons.
Okay.
Vision Quest was another one. I think that sounds interesting.
Dude, give me 1 fucking second.
Blade. Yeah, there's some stuff on here that I think scrapped, but
Spider-Woman. The Spider-Woman movie.
is that happening?
It's on here. TBD 2025.
Is Ironheart
Part of the Sony Spider-Man universe.
I keep seeing Ironheart and it says Disney Plus. Is that actually coming out?
No idea.
I haven't heard anything
Eyes of
about it.
Wakanda.
Oh, Eyes of Wakanda is an animated show. It's coming out on
okay.
Disney Plus.
Wonder Man, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse,
But-
Spider
yeah.
Noir,
Oh, is that the one with
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Prime Video was making that one. Okay, I would say projects that we definitely know are coming.
Amazon announced a green light to Noir. Yeah.
I would say out of the ones that we know for sure, I would say, well, I guess we don't know for sure. Blade would be up there.
Blade, Thunderbolts.
And honestly, Fantastic Four. Just because
Yeah.
I'm very curious. See how that goes.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, a lot of these, it's like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to get made.
I know. Yeah. I think we're at that point in the MCU where it's like, we don't even know what's really announced. Because I feel like there was a time in like...
Oh, Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. But remember in like phase 2 and phase 3, when those movies got announced, it was like, we're for sure getting these.
Yeah. We didn't have nearly as many like cancellations like we've had now.
Yeah. Now
Because
it's
they don't
like,
know where the fuck they're going. They don't know what direction they're going.
Now it's like, we don't know if these are getting made. And then, let's see, last question we have here from Alex. Who don't you want to show up in Avengers Doomsday? So who do you not want to show up in Avengers Doomsday?
Captain Marvel.
I fucking knew you were going to say that. She's going to have to show up in one of them.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You think they'll do what they did with her in Infinity War and Endgame where she doesn't show up in Doomsday, but then she'll show up in Secret Wars?
It's possible.
Well, she's definitely going to be a part of Secret Wars because she's all a part of that, the Skrull War and all that.
Yeah.
Who don't I want to show up? Bro, you know what's crazy? I completely forget that Emilia Clarke is part of the MCU with her character at the end of Secret Invasion. Mm-hmm. And one of the more powerful ones as well.
No, like possibly the most powerful.
Possibly the most powerful character yet. What are they going to do with her?
No idea.
Oh,
She is the result of terrible writing.
Shit. I wonder.
I hope we don't see her either.
Dude, What if we see Emilia Clarke's name on the back of one of those director's chairs, like on the next announcement?
She'll have to be a part of Secret Wars. I feel like you can't introduce a character like that and then not follow up on it.
There's just too many people, but this is a lot.
It's a lot.
Dude, like Infinity War and Endgame was a lot, but like this is a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Handle.
It's too much. I feel like it is too much. They need to like learn how to separate the stories, I guess.
Separate the universes.
Yeah, or something. I don't know, but
it's well, I think them deciding to tackle Secret Wars that's tough.
yeah.
That's like, I'm shocked that they're even
Attempting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised to not see Tatiana's name on the back of one of those chairs. She-Hulk in the announcement. I was kind of shocked.
Maslany.
Yeah, Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
I was surprised not to see her name in that Marvel announcement for Doomsday.
Yeah. That surprised me too, actually.
Yeah. But then again, I was also surprised that I didn't see Mark Ruffalo's name announced as well. Like, we got a few Hulks coming, and based off of the concept art that got leaked, I think it's already gotten taken down.
Yeah.
But the concept art did show Hulk and She-Hulk. So I was surprised. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing her there. I do think Tatiana was the perfect casting choice for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I do.
I just didn't love the direction of that show.
Right. It was definitely more sitcom, comedy.
Yeah.
But also, like, that was the character of She-Hulk. She-Hulk broke the fourth wall before Deadpool. And I thought she was funny. I did think Tatiana was really funny as Jen Walters.
There was definitely funny moments, but it's like, I don't know. I think we all had like kind of hit a point in the MCU where it was like, this is just what we've
come to.
Yeah, it's like why are we doing this? It's like, what happened to the Iron Man suit up days, and like I don't know, when shit felt intense and not like I'm just watching it was like a cartoon brought to life. You know what I mean? Where like I knew everything was gonna get wrapped up nice and happy at the end of the day. Like the stakes aren't there anymore.
Garrett's like a boomer in the MCU.
I guess. I mean, gee, I've been around in the MCU long enough.
But I mean, I know what you mean. Especially with like what they did with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and Abomination compared to like what we last saw with Abomination in The Incredible Hulk.
Like, bro, how do you make that jump?
The jump is crazy.
Yeah, and then he's just like, as you can see, I'm in complete control. And why is his voice so high? Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
He was a monster in 2008.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that.
Yeah, no, the switch up was crazy for that character. But like specifically Tatiana Maslany as Jen Walters, I really enjoy. Now, okay, let me ask you this. There's also theories that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom isn't the final Doctor Doom that we're getting.
Yeah.
Do you think that is going to be the case?
I kind of hope so, honestly.
I just don't know, though, because of how much they really are putting Robert Downey Jr.'s name on both of these.
Yeah.
Or at least with Doomsday.
It would be hard to do that and then completely switch up.
Yeah.
Bro, but what if they brought in a big enough name actor that's able to replace RDJ? Because, like, bro,
who?
Cillian Murphy.
But do you think... But that name is not bigger than Robert Downey Jr.,
I'm not saying it's bigger, but it is big enough. And, bro, after Oppenheimer... Come on.
I fucking love Cillian Murphy, but...
I don't know. I think if they did it...
Yeah.
And they did it with... I think he's the only name that could possibly pull that off.
I think so.
But if they did that with Cillian Murphy, I think a lot of people would actually be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, man. If he could enter the MCU as Doctor Doom with the amount of aura he has as Thomas fucking Shelby.
Yeah.
Because he can play an intimidating person.
Mm-hmm.
He can. Now, in other movies, he's a skinny Irish boy, but
yeah,
he's fucking intimidating when he can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that.
Because it's like, how are we just going to like see RDJ and not be like, oh, hey, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't get like how they're going to go about saying like, this is not Tony Stark. if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I know there is an offshoot storyline where
Iron
Doctor
Man,
Doom and Iron Man switch bodies.
Right.
And essentially you see like Doctor Doom with like Iron Man like armor. But when they did that, he became like a good guy. Doctor Doom did.
And you can't
and
have
then Tony Stark became like a piece of shit because it was still Doctor Doom in Tony Stark's body.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work though, because he's clearly got to be
Victor Von Doom. That was the name. Yeah.
He's clearly got to be the bad guy.
Yeah. So it's like, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just we're gonna be in for a wild ride. I feel like
I know. I just have so many questions.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, we should be getting some more Marvel news as well this week. CinemaCon is going on this week, so it's going to be a lot of news of upcoming movies coming out in 2025, 2026. I just saw a tweet that said potential Spider-Verse news may be teased at today's CinemaCon panel. So the time we're recording, oh man, so by the time we're done, I don't know if we'll hear anything, but Christopher Miller, the writer, tweeted a Spider ... So that would be great if we could get some Beyond the Spider-Verse news, because fucking hell. Do you remember? Like, I saw a tweet that was quoted today that said, oh, Beyond the Spider-Verse planned to be released in March 2024.
We all knew that was bullshit.
I know. Yeah, we all knew it was bullshit, but Jesus Christ, man.
Why would they think they could get away with that?
No.
Nobody had even recorded their lines yet.
Yeah.
And they were like saying how it was going to be out. Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Sony is having their panel right now at CinemaCon. So let's see if we can get some like recent updates, actually. Sydney Sweeney in talks to star in the Gundam movie. Also an announcement. Tom Hardy says Venom Spider-Man crossover with Tom Holland got as close as I could possibly imagining getting before it all fell apart. But like, would that have even made sense? You would need the multiverse for that shit. I mean, I bet if they did that, it wouldn't have even been a huge thing. I bet it would have happened in the MCU universe that we see Tom Hardy in at first in Venom: The Last Dance when he's talking to that fucking bartender.
Yeah.
And then they just would have shot his ass to the other universe. So like, it wouldn't have even mattered if that crossover even did happen. What do we got? Anthony Starr teases The Boys series finale. Fans are either going to be surprised or shocked depending on their nervous system, but very, very entertained. Oh, we did also get a first look at the first official poster for Wicked for Good with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. To be honest, poster is booty cheeks. But my booty cheeks will be there opening night.
Well, I couldn't give a fuck either way. So don't think I'm gonna join you for that.
Well,
I think you can do those reviews by yourself. Cause
am I gonna have to do a Wicked for Good view by myself?
I think so. Cause holy fuck, did I hate the first movie, and I do not plan on going to see the next. Like,
you honestly plan on seeing Wicked for Good?
I really don't want to. I really, really, really don't want to.
Oh man. All right. Well, maybe by the time this news comes out, I'll be able to do some reactions from CinemaCon this week. But yeah, a lot of news going to be coming out this week for Marvel, between Sony, between Disney. A lot of animated movies that we got coming out. Shrek 5, Toy Story 5. There was a picture of just so many sequels that I saw today. Let's see. The 2026 film slate presented at CinemaCon. Listen to this. So Avengers Doomsday, sequel. Spider-Man 4, sequel. Moana 3. I don't know how I feel about a Moana 3. I feel like
the second one was terrible.
Well, the two was even stretching it.
Yeah.
Scream 7.
I mean, they set it up in 2 for there to be a third.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's just buku bucks for Disney. Moana always is a profit.
Yeah.
Scream 7, sequel. Mandalorian and Grogu. I mean, technically sequel, but I guess, it is the first movie, but it's following.
It's a sequel.
It's a sequel. Minions, or Mega Minions sequel. Jumanji 4. That's technically a 4. Yeah. Because is it, the first one is still in that same timeline? Like it's still the original 90s one? I think so, because it's like Jumanji.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Yeah. So Jumanji 4, Hunger Games, another fucking Hunger Games? The Hunger Games, Sunrise of the... I can't read that word. It's
Is
too
this
blurry.
a sequel in the prequel series?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shrek 5 sequel. Ooh, this is not a sequel, but apparently we are getting some news about the Odyssey coming out. That'll be cool.
All right.
The Super Mario Bros. 2.
Didn't think that needed a sequel, but okay.
Didn't need one, but when you gross 3 billion at the box office, you're going to get a sequel.
Yeah.
Ice Age 6.
Jesus Christ.
I was never a huge Ice Age guy.
I like Ice Age.
I
They're
remember
fun.
liking the first 2, but I don't even know if I've seen past the first 2.
I've seen some of the other ones.
Toy Story 5, and holy shit, saving the best for last, Fast X Part 2.
Oh, God.
Fucking Fast and Furious.
What happened to Hollywood, man?
Fast and Furious just don't stop, man. It don't stop. Whoa, breaking news. Cillian Murphy is confirmed to return in the 28 Years Later trilogy. You may have to wait a bit to see him, though. Okay, so that was true. Remember, like, 28 Years Later trailer came out, and then everyone was expecting Cillian Murphy because we saw Cillian Murphy was, like, on set.
Yeah.
But then there was news that he wasn't even going to show up in the first 28 Years Later. And then also on top of that, that was going to be a part of a trilogy. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? So it is confirmed. We're not even going to see his ass in the first one. That is interesting.
What the hell?
Evan Solo, our friend Evan, he's at CinemaCon this weekend, just tweeted, they just showed us a new trailer for 28 Years Later. And dude, holy shit. I am very excited for 28 Years Later. That is one of my most anticipated movies this year. So this is going to be good. Shit. Well, fortunately, we can't stay recording the whole week of CinemaCon, but be ready for a lot of news to come out this week. We'll try to keep you posted on our Instagram stories and everything. So make sure to give us a follow on there. And again, make sure to check out our Patreon for any bonus content. If you would like to support the whole month of April, our Patreon will be half off for every membership. So it's going to do it for this episode of Duck Takes, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.